Today we are looking at the Carolina Panthers and their owners, David and Nicole Tepper. Some of you, some Panther fans, think that paying $2.275 billion, that's with a B, as in boatloads of money. Some of you think that paying $2.27 billion to own a team shouldn't get you anything but like a seat in the corner of the stadium where you're not allowed to talk to anybody. This went viral weirdly, okay? This what I'm about to tell you. This 8-second clip went viral from The Blueprint, which is a behind-the-scenes, off-season YouTube series that the Panthers have run. Weeks ago, episode 2 came out.
Literally like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
I think.
Feels longer than that, but we'll go with 2 weeks ago. A video came out, and then just like yesterday and a little bit on Sunday, this 8-second clip went viral from the thing that went out 2 weeks ago. And it was Nicole Tepper just talking. Nicole Tepper, the wife of David Tepper, the owner of the Carolina Panthers, was in the war room, and they were talking about trades being made, and we'll play the audio for you, and then I'll explain what happened.
He's like, would you trade up for the guy that I like? I said, yeah.
If you couldn't understand what was said there, it was Nicole Tepper, talking in the war room, he said, would you trade for, the guy I like? And I said, yeah. And that apparently has Panthers fans up in arms. Why is she in that room? Why is she a part of the football decisions? Why is Nicole Tepper even there? Why is she? Look at Dave Canales' reaction, which, by the way, I watched it a bunch of times. He looks at her and then looks to whoever she's talking to. There's really no, it's not like his eyebrows go like, oh.
It was a very clickbaity headline and all that kind of stuff. Wife of NFL owner making draft day decisions. I was like, no,
Nicole
I don't think she was.
Tepper and David Tepper. Most of it David Tepper because he's kind of the public face.
Yeah. They've
done a lot that I think you should be upset about.
Oh, 100%. Absolutely.
Getting upset about this makes it like boy who cried wolf for the things you should get mad at. If you're mad at this, I question your ability to discern what you should be mad about. So now when you're mad when he throws a drink on a Jaguars fan, I'm going like, well, we can't trust your mad level because you're all over the place. Athlon Sports put out an article about this exact situation. Pro Football Talk put an article about this. There's a bunch of articles out there. I have a quote from the Athlon Sports article. Many are questioning the involvement of an owner's spouse in such crucial decisions, a role traditionally reserved for football operations personnel. Did she make any? This is state-owned propaganda. Right? What I mean by that is this whole behind-the-scenes YouTube that this clip came from was put out by the Panthers. If you think their GM and their scouting department was getting bullied by Nicole Tepper, that they would put it out? Athlon Sports. Fans argue that such involvement blurs the line between ownership and football management, potentially impacting the team's strategic direction. You want to talk about making Everest out of a molehill. That's what this is. And guess what? You're going to have to accept a few things about the owners of your team. They get to be there. They get to be in the room where it happens. They get to ask questions. If I were the GM, I would even ask their opinion on some things. Why? Because they're your boss. They paid $2.275 billion for the team. If they want to if they want to go old school, remember when you had landlines and you had the upstairs phone and the downstairs phone? And if someone was talking on the upstairs phone, you could quietly pick up the downstairs phone and just listen to the conversation. If they wanted to do that on every single trade conversation, $2.275 billion says they can.
Yeah, it's their team.
And that's part of the cool part of doing it. That's why we all dream of one day hitting like 7 lotteries in a row, enough to go ahead and buy our own football team, because we want to be in the mix. Now, I'm not saying you have to like her. I'm not saying you have to like him. You could dislike the Teppers as a unit for as long as you want, and in a lot of ways, I think that is rightfully justified by Panther fans. But you can't really get mad at a duck for swimming, right? You're the NFL owner. If you can be in the draft is exciting. I look forward to the draft, and I just like the dumb behind the scenes stuff that's coming out, right? The Panthers have the blueprint. Every other team has their version. I get excited to watch them. I'm like, oh, sweet. The Seahawks put out a negotiation video. Let's see how this trade happened. And I watched the whole thing. Imagine owning a team and thinking like, I'll have to wait for the videos to see how it went in the war room of this team I just paid $2.275 billion for. No, you want to watch the live thing, not the instant replay. Now I will say, and by the way, this clip doesn't show that she had any input on anything.
No.
Like, could have just been a hypothetical. Like, hey, what would you do if it was flooding in here? Would you try to build a raft or run for higher ground? Like, they could have been asking anything. Just a fun, hey, let me talk to the boss. I mean, I'll even bring it towards this profession that I'm in. Like, I've talked with big bosses, right? Like corporate level bosses, about what's going on in today's show. Not literally today's show, but like another day they're walking through, hey, what's going on in today's show? Imagine if I were like, let the radio people handle the radio. Why would I talk to you about what's on today's show? You know, this is what we focus in, which is essentially what all of you are asking the Panthers to do to David and Nicole Tepper. Like, hey, are you thinking about making a trade? Let the football people handle this. You're just the business over there. Go to the other side of the room. Thank you very much. We'll let you know who we draft well after we draft them. You can find out on Twitter like everybody else. Thank you for your $2.275 billion that you bought this team with. That's not how it works in the real world.
I just think Panthers fans, when they hear Tepper and decisions, they're like, I don't want anything to do with it. And understandably so. And that's a justified feeling. So anything that implies someone with the last name Tepper making a decision or influencing a decision instantly goes to don't like it.
Yes. I think that is
100%.
But that discredits your actual anger about bad decisions.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, if you're just mad about everything. We've all been had in those relationships too, right? Where you're just like, whatever I do, you're going to get mad at me, so I'm just going to do whatever I want anyway. Right? You don't want the Teppers to get there. You don't want the Teppers. No. You don't want them to get to, well, yeah, listen, we tried to do it the right way. Everyone hated us, so now we're going to do it our way. You don't want to see the Teppers with that kind of empowerment.
Nope.
Try to get mad about the right stuff is what I'm saying. There's plenty there. You don't need to drum up reasons to get mad. They've given you plenty of reasons to get mad. Start there.